कृपया ध्यान दीजिए गाड़ी संख्या 1।
Today, reaching Chennai from Delhi takes just a few hours by air. The journey has become shorter, faster, and far more comfortable. But somewhere along the way, we lost something priceless. The conversations that began with strangers and ended as friendships. The homemade meals shared without hesitation. The excitement of reading every station board. The blue night lamps that quietly watched over sleeping families. The vendors whose familiar voices became part of the journey. And the simple joy of traveling together, where every mile created another memory. Today, I'd like to take you back to a time when journeys weren't measured by speed, but by stories. A time when a railway compartment became a home, when fellow passengers became family, and when 36 hours aboard the legendary Grand Trunk Express became memories that lasted a lifetime. So find a comfortable seat, close your eyes for a moment, listen carefully to the rhythm of the rails, and come with me back to the year 1978. Delhi Junction, October 1978. The great iron clock at Delhi Junction read 5:20 p.m. Porters in bright red uniforms hurried across the crowded platform, balancing towering stacks of luggage on their heads, while families searched for their coaches through the sea of passengers. Vendors announced their wares in voices that echoed beneath the enormous station roof. Chai garam chai, cold drinks. Fali, mu fali. Children tugged at their parents' hands, soldiers leaned against their duffel bags, and elderly couples silently counted their luggage for the 10th time. Standing majestically on Platform 5 was the pride of Indian Railways, the Grand Trunk Express. Its green coaches stretched so far that they almost disappeared into the evening haze. The diesel locomotive let out a deep metallic horn that seemed to vibrate through the entire station with a gentle jerk. Then another. The mighty train slowly came alive. At exactly 5:30 p.m., it began its legendary two-night, one-day journey from Delhi to Madras. Coach S4, a home on wheels. Inside Coach S4, one small compartment had already transformed into a traveling Tamil Brahmin household. Heavy blue painted steel trunks, their owners' names neatly stenciled in white, were pushed beneath the lower berths and secured with sturdy Godrej padlocks. Canvas water bags hung from hooks near the windows. A Milton flask stood beside a wicker basket packed with fruits. A huge brass thuku, the traditional tiered tiffin carrier, was carefully tucked beneath the seat. The air inside the compartment carried a wonderful mixture of aromas. Freshly fried marukku, ribbon pakoda, mixture scented with roasted coriander and curry leaves, homemade laddus wrapped in butter paper, and the unmistakable smell of leather suitcases, railway dust, old canvas, and warm steel. This wasn't merely a railway compartment, it was home, moving at 60 kilometers an hour. Meet the family. By the window sat Tata, dressed in a spotless white vesti and neatly ironed half-sleeve shirt. His trusted HMT wristwatch rested comfortably on his wrist, while an old pocket diary peeked from his shirt pocket. Beside him sat Amappa, gracefully adjusting her starched Kanchipuram cotton sari before ensuring every food container had survived the journey from home. Across from them sat Ramesh and Savitri, finally relaxing after weeks of preparing for a cousin's wedding in Madras. Their children had already forgotten the exhaustion of packing. 8-year-old Ravi had claimed the window even before the train left Delhi. 6-year-old Sita, with 2 bouncing pigtails tied in bright red ribbons, sat beside him, asking questions every few minutes. Appa, how many days before we reach Madras? Ramesh smiled. 2 nights and 1 day. Her eyes widened. So we'll sleep in the train. Twice. Everyone laughed. Evening prayers on the rails as the crimson sky slowly melted into shades of violet and indigo. Savitri and Amapa quietly picked up their cotton towels. They walked to the narrow wash basin at the end of the coach, washed their faces, and returned with fresh kumkum on their foreheads. Sitting cross-legged on the lower berth, they gently covered their heads with the edge of their saris. Then, with closed eyes, they began reciting the evening prayers, Kanda Sashti Kavasam, Lalita Sahasranama. The rhythmic clack, clack, clack of the wheels blended beautifully with their voices. The train rolled on, the prayers continued. For a few precious moments, the railway compartment felt like a small temple on wheels. The evening treat. Just as the prayers ended, a familiar voice echoed through the coach. Vada, hot masala vada. Another vendor followed. Filter coffee, hot coffee. Tata immediately adjusted his spectacles. Ramesh, he said with a mischievous smile, 1 hot masala vada. And if his coffee is good, bring 1 for me too. Ravi and Sita exchanged hopeful glances. They didn't say a word. They didn't have to. Parents always understood. That look. Moments later, Everyone held steaming hot masala vadas wrapped in old newspaper squares. Paper cups of piping hot coffee warmed adult hands while the children carefully blew on their crispy snacks before taking the first bite outside. A cool evening breeze entered through the open windows. Inside, there was only the sound of satisfied crunching dinner shared with strangers. Around 8 o'clock, Amapa carefully opened the large brass tiffin carrier. Immediately, the compartment filled with the fragrance of home: soft idlis wrapped in banana leaves, lemon rice tempered with mustard seeds, curd rice garnished with fresh coriander, potato roast, mango pickle, crisp plums protected between newspaper sheets. Across the aisle sat an elderly Sikh couple traveling to Vijayawada. Before anyone could say anything, Amapa smiled warmly. You must taste this. The couple politely refused. She insisted. Within moments, banana leaves were spread out. The Sikh lady smiled and opened her own steel tiffin. Then you must also have our aloo parathas. Soon everyone was passing food across the compartment. Someone offered pickle. Someone shared sweets. The children happily tasted everything without asking whose lunchbox it came from. Nobody knew one another's surnames. Yet for those 2 days, they became one family. That was Indian Railways. Stations that had their own personalities. Every station was different. At Agra came hot peta, at Jhansi spicy kachoris, at Bhopal fragrant poha, at Itarsi oranges, boiled groundnuts, and endless cups of tea. Ravi never remained seated. As soon as the train slowed down, he rushed to the window. What station? Before anyone answered, he was already sounding out the name painted boldly on the yellow board. Every platform had its own smell, its own accent, its own rhythm. 5 minutes later, the whistle blew, and the entire world changed again. Midnight at Gwalior, weeks before the journey had begun, a blue inland letter had traveled from Delhi to Gwalior. It contained only one request. GT Express reaches around midnight. Meet us for 15 minutes. Exactly as planned, the train rolled into Gwalior Junction. The platform glowed beneath yellow sodium lamps. Ramesh stood near the open doorway, holding a small torch. A familiar voice called out, Ramesh. There was cousin Mani running alongside the slowing train with an enormous cloth bag in one hand and a three-tiered tiffin carrier in the other. For 15 magical minutes, Coach S4 came alive. Blessings, laughter, rapid fire family updates, questions about relatives, news of weddings, news of births. No one wasted a second. Mani proudly handed over homemade tamarind rice, curd rice, mango pickle, and fresh curd for the next day's lunch. In return, Amapa presented tins of ribbon pakoda and manoharam prepared over 3 long days in Delhi. The guard's whistle echoed green flag. Final hugs. See you at the wedding. The train slowly pulled away. Mani kept waving until he disappeared into the Gwalior night. The blue night? By 10:30, the ticket examiner had completed his final round. One by one, the bright yellow bulbs were switched off. Only the soft blue night lamps remained. The compartment transformed instantly. Children stopped whispering. The ceiling fans hummed gently. The steady rhythm of the rails became louder than conversations. Outside, nothing but darkness. Every now and then, a lonely station drifted by. A red signal, a station master holding a green lamp, a dog sleeping on the platform. Then darkness again. Above, Ravi and Sita finally surrendered to sleep on the upper berth, their tiny feet peeping out from under thin railway blankets. Tata's favorite hour of sleep never came easily to Tata. Quietly, he settled beside the open window. From the pocket of his cloth bag, he took out a small silver pan box. With practiced hands, he prepared a fresh pan, a betel leaf, a little areca nut, a touch of tobacco, a hint of lime. He folded it carefully and began chewing slowly while watching the moonlit countryside drift past. Cool night air flowed gently into the compartment. The faint scent of tobacco mingled with the smell of iron rails and diesel. Now and then he looked at the stars. Occasionally he smiled to himself. No one disturbed him. Everyone knew this silent hour belonged only to him. Dreams of Madras. Near midnight, only Ramesh and Savitri remained awake. Speaking softly so as not to wake the children, they unfolded a small pocket diary. Wedding on Friday, said Ramesh. Reception Saturday. Sunday Marina Beach. Savitri nodded. And Parthasarathi Temple. Amapa wants to visit Kapalishwara. Tamata will never return without buying fresh filter coffee powder. Ramesh laughed. And Ravi wants to climb the lighthouse. Sita wants colored glass bangles. For a while they forgot responsibilities, forgot office work, forgot household worries. They became two young people looking forward to a family holiday. Outside, the Grand Trunk Express continued its endless song across sleeping India. A new morning the following morning brought a completely different landscape. The air felt warmer. Rows of coconut trees swayed gently. Banana plantations stretched towards the horizon. Women drew colorful columns outside their homes. Temple towers appeared every few kilometers. Someone in the compartment smiled knowingly. We've entered Tamil Nadu. Almost on cue came another familiar call. Kaapi, kaapi, hot filter kaapi. The rich aroma alone announced they were nearing home. Madras Central. On the third morning, the Grand Trunk Express rolled majestically beneath the iconic red brick arches of Madras Central. The platform was alive with jasmine flowers, the fragrance of freshly brewed coffee, coolies in red uniforms, and cheerful Tamil conversations. Before anyone else noticed, Ravi shouted excitedly, "Look, Sundaram uncle, Kamala auntie." A crowd of smiling relatives waved enthusiastically from platform 1. As the family stepped down after 36 unforgettable hours, they were welcomed with warm hugs, blessings, laughter, and endless questions. How was the journey? Did Mani meet you at Nagpur? Were the children comfortable? Kamala auntie lovingly tucked fresh jasmine flowers into Sita's hair. The luggage was loaded into waiting yellow and black ambassador taxis. The wedding celebrations were about to begin, but deep inside, every member of the family knew something beautiful had already ended. Life, when you think about it, is very much like a long train journey. Every traveler begins the journey with a ticket. Without a valid ticket, no one can board the train or undertake the journey. In the same way, our body is the ticket that allows our soul to experience this remarkable journey called life. Without this body, we cannot learn, we cannot love, we cannot serve. We cannot fulfill our responsibilities or experience the countless joys and challenges that shape our existence. The body is not who we are, it is the precious past that enables our journey through this world. The train itself is life. The stations are the different phases of our existence. Our fellow passengers are our parents, siblings, friends, teachers, colleagues, and loved ones. Some board with us at the very beginning, some join us much later, some travel beside us for only a few stations, others remain with us for almost the entire journey, yet every traveler has a destination of their own. One by one, they step off when their station arrives. No matter how much we wish otherwise, we cannot ask them to continue beyond the destination meant for them. During the journey, we enjoy comfortable berths, delicious meals, beautiful scenery, wealth, possessions, success, and recognition. Just as no passenger owns the train, the berth, or even the compartment they travel in, we do not truly own the wealth or comforts we enjoy in life. We are only their custodians for a little while. They are entrusted to us, not to be clung to, but to be used wisely and shared generously. And then, one day, our own destination arrives. We step off the train exactly as every traveler before us has done. The ticket has served its purpose. The body has fulfilled its role. The train continues its journey with new passengers. What remains behind is not the seat we occupy, nor the comforts we enjoyed, but the memories we created, the kindness we shared, the love we gave, and the lives we touched along the way. Perhaps that is life's greatest lesson.